The big question here is, which one of you did it?
I didn't do it!
I didn't do it.
I didn't do it.
I didn't do it.
I didn't do it!
Let me rephrase my question. Which one of you is lying?
I'm not lying!
I'm telling you the truth.
Nothing I've said is a lie.
These are the facts.
I did not kill anyone!
Well then, I guess we better find out who did.
Hey Delilah, did you print off that paperwork yet?
More specific, please. Who?
The Andersons.
Here.
Thanks.
Do you want me to put them in the filing cabinet for you too, or...
Sorry.
Could you just focus, please? I really would like our shift to finish earlier tonight, and you know if you're still here, that means they'll keep me too.
Do you know what week it is?
No, actually. I don't tend to keep track of how many weeks have passed each year.
It's just 1 week until Halloween.
Ah, the party. You know we work with the Bowmans. They aren't A-list celebrities. You know, since we started here as interns, you have been obsessed with their Halloween soirees. If you want to go so badly, just ask for an invitation.
You can't just ask for an invitation to the Bowman's party. It has to be earned. After all, Anne's father does own the company.
Didn't you attend last year's gathering, Christopher?
I did. For 5 consecutive years now, in fact. Last year's event was...
Ghostbusters themed. It looked like great fun in the firm's weekly paper.
Yes, it was. I heard the Bowmans are going for a more sophisticated theme this year.
Edward, do make sure you pick up the costumes from the dry cleaners, please.
Yes, Anne, I didn't forget the last 3 times you told me.
Look, she's handing out invitations.
Wow.
Chris!
Anne, how are you?
Good. Yourself? How's the family?
The kids in Beverly are great. They would appreciate you asking.
Well, make sure they're fine without you on the 31st.
Well, that makes his 6th consecutive year.
I'll be sure to attend, thank you.
Jane,
Oh my goodness.
we are not going.
Don't be ridiculous. This is not the kind of event you can turn down. If you are invited, that means you must go. No is not in the Bowman party vocabulary. It is mandatory that we go.
Look, we don't even know if they're invitations. Okay, it's an invitation.
This is fantastic. Oh, Delilah, open it, open it. We must see what the theme is this year and get our costumes ready.
Jane, I told you, I'm not going to a party full of rich, smug businessmen. I'd rather spend my Halloween on my couch, candy in hand, stuffing my face. And besides, Halloween 2 came out this year, and I still haven't watched it.
Halloween 2 isn't going anywhere, Delilah. You can watch a movie any time. This party, however, only happens once a year. The Bowman specialty is Halloween. There's not going to be any Bowman Christmas or New Year's Eve parties, you know.
That I find weird in itself. Their obsession with Halloween is pretty spooky.
Have you seen the theme of the party this year? It's great. I look forward to seeing your costumes and some new faces at one of these get-togethers.
Cluedo.
Whatever I say, we're still going to this party, aren't we?
I am not taking no for an answer. Mrs. Peacock.
This is absurd, you know that?
Goodbye now. I need to find myself a red dress.
Edward, have you contacted the caters?
Yes.
You're certain that they are attending?
Yes, Anne. They did confirm that they are still coming to cater for the event. And no, before you ask, they did not change your very detailed appetizer list.
Good. It's important that they follow instructions. And the light company? Are they still bringing the disco lights?
Yes, Anne.
Good, good. Very well then. It seems as though this party is yet to be another success.
I wouldn't doubt it, dear.
Where are our costumes? I must make sure there are no damages done to them.
Folded over on the couch, sweetheart.
Folded? Oh, dear me. My goodness, Edward, you cannot fold the costume. They are going to crease. Oh, let me take a look at them.
Anne, they are fine.
How would you know? You haven't even taken them out the bag. Here is yours.
Green?
Mm-hmm.
Why am I Mr. Green? Can I not choose the purple one?
I'm confused, dear.
You have 2 male costumes in the bag. Both Mr. Green and Professor Plum are men in the board game. So, where is your costume?
Right there. I'm Professor Plum.
Don't be ridiculous, dear. You're going to have to switch with someone else. I'll take the purple costume. Purple suits me far better. Contact one of the guests so you can change with them. Red suits you. Take Miss Scarlet.
This is my party, Edward, and I shall organise it however I like. Purple is my favourite colour, and therefore I shall be Professor Plum. Don't forget to buy your green hat.
And this is nonsense. She always gets whatever she wants.
Can I get you anything, sir?
Scotch. Neat.
I cannot believe I agree to this.
Delilah! Or should I say, Mrs. Peacock? You look great.
Call me Mrs. Peacock again and...
I'm sorry, I'm just so excited for this party. Arthur's taking care of the kids tonight. Do you think he'll be okay alone? I just feel so guilty.
You are not pulling out of this stupid party now. You're the one who wanted to go so bad. Now come on, let's go.
Alright, let's go then. Wow, I mean, have you ever seen anything like it? It's beautiful, it's so big, it's so grand, and so...
Yeah, your average rich person's house. Big deal. Let's just get this night over with.
Chris, hi!
No. From now on, it's Dr. Orchid. It's game time, baby.
Nice suit.
Thanks. It's custom made. Anyone seen Charles?
Right behind ya!
Charles, my man.
Good to see you at another annual party. You two, though? This is your first Bowman soiree, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I'm so thrilled to be here tonight. I've heard so much about the Bowman's annual parties and...
Yes, it's great to be here tonight, as Jane said.
It's nice to see you both out of office for a change. Ah, the doorman is standing outside. That's our cue to go in.
Doormen?
They really do pull out all the stops for Halloween.
Or they've just got too much money. I mean, all of this for a party?
Will you just stop complaining? This is fun. Delilah, let's go.
Whatever you say.
Christopher, what a pleasure. Marvellous outfit choice for tonight.
Anne?
Colonel Mustard has arrived.
Please, do come in. Delilah, welcome to your first Bowman Halloween party. You'll enjoy yourself tonight, I assure you.
Ah, yes, I'm sure I will.
Well, would you look at that?
Oh, Anne, I'm so sorry. I didn't intend to copy you tonight.
Oh, no, Jane. Great minds think alike, you see. Expensive taste. I'm impressed. Come on in.
Oh, thank you.
Jane, have you lost your mind?
Delilah, not now.
Expensive taste? How on earth did you afford that, Jane? We may work for rich people, but we aren't rich people, Jane. What is all of this about anyway? To impress Anne? And for what? The promotion? We know if anyone's getting that promotion, then it's Christopher.
I'm renting it. I can pay it back.
Oh, whatever. I just think you're wasting your time.
Now, it's time. No more whispers of your work or your personal lives. Let the games begin. Mr. Green!
Evening, everyone. Happy Halloween.
Thank you all so much for coming tonight. Welcome to Cluedo. Most of you know how this goes by now. Hand in your pages. Jane? Delilah?
Oh, we don't,
You don't?
We don't own pagers, Anne.
Oh, I see. You must get your hands on one, you know. They're the easiest way of electronic communication these days.
Yeah, I have heard great things about them. We'll be sure to purchase one.
All for that expensive taste, eh?
Be quiet, Delilah.
From this point forward, the games begin. You're no longer Jane and Christopher. It's going to be Miss Scarlet and Dr. Orchard.
Go and enjoy yourselves. Drinks are being served in every room.
Edward, I'm talking. As my husband was just saying, enjoy the party. But keep an eye out on the clock. I shall meet you all in the dining room at 11 p.m. for the Cluedo to commence.
Oh, so we're actually playing a board game tonight? I thought this was just fancy dress.
Oh no! Delilah, a Bowman never does anything half-heartedly. Where would all the fun be if we didn't play a little game?
These people are so odd. This is weird, Jane.
She's just getting into character, that's all.
What party have you ever been to where you've been made to sit down and follow instructions? That's weird, Jane. Very weird.
You're overreacting, Delilah. This was meant to be a good night, and you're ruining it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I hope I'm not disturbing this fake little image you've got going on tonight.
I'm getting this promotion, Delilah.
Oh, yeah? And what are you gonna do when they find out that you're renting that dress?
Have fun. See you all at 11.
A moment of privacy, please, Sarah.
Of course, Miss Bowman.
Edward, we have spoken about this. I am to give speeches at any event, understood?
Anne, I am your husband. You are to listen to me.
Oh, please, Edward, it's never been that way with us. Don't try to make me look foolish in front of our guests by speaking over me. If anything, you're making a fool out of yourself.
Anne.
I have been working on this party for months. Do not ruin it, understood?
Speaking to me as if you're my mother.
Excuse me, Edward? Would you like to speak a little bit louder?
Oh, no. As you said, this is your party. You're in charge.
Well, I'm glad we're on the same page. Now, let's go and mingle with our guests. We are making ourselves look rude.
So, has it lived up to your expectations so far?
Delilah.
What? I'm genuinely curious. Living your rich fantasy?
Delilah!
You are obsessed with these people. Come on.
No, I just admire them. What's wrong with wanting a little more out of life?
There's nothing wrong with being ambitious. You just need to learn contentment too. But I'll always support you, you know that. Do you really think you have a chance at getting this promotion?
You know, I really do. Even Christopher said he's got some competition earlier.
Well, I suppose I owe you an apology. I'm really proud of you, Jane. And I'm sorry for being stubborn. It's just socializing with these people, this environment, I just feel a bit...
Out of place?
Yeah.
I know. Me too.
Really?
Yeah. I guess I'm just better at faking it than you.
Teach me your ways, please.
Just enjoy the party. I mean, remember how much we loved playing Cluedo as kids?
We drove Mom crazy. Made her play it every night.
I hear a lot of laughter. What am I missing out on?
Just reminiscing, that's all. Sisterly stuff.
Have you checked the time? It's nearly 11 o'clock.
Just a heads up, everyone. My favorite drink is tequila. You're gonna need some gift ideas for me once I win this thing.
Oh, don't be so sure, Christopher.
Ready to enjoy the night now?
Sure.
Good, because the fun has only just begun.
Well, Edward, you're up first. Roll the dice.
Look at that, double 6.
Hurry up and take your turn, will you?
Alright, I'm going for Miss Scarlet, in the kitchen, with the knife. Charles?
No peeping, Delilah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Charles.
My turn. Where's the dice?
Edward, pass Charles the dice.
Seriously? A 1 and a 3? That's not going to get me very far. Delilah, your turn.
9 overall. Not bad. Alright, let's go for Miss Scarlet in the study with the pistol.
Why does everyone keep choosing me to die?
No, you can't leave us just yet, Jane. Otherwise, who will be my competitor for this promotion, eh?
Not to add any pressure onto you both, but this is probably going to be the biggest promotion we have given out in the firm for at least 3 years now.
Edward,
You are both great candidates for this job. Careful now, Christopher. I know you thought that this would be an easy win for you.
Edward, kitchen now.
Oh, come on, Anne. The game has only just started.
Well, enjoy the party, everyone. Let's take a little break. We'll be back very, very soon. Kitchen now, Edward.
For goodness sake, Anne, I am following you into the kitchen. Now, what is wrong with you?
Do you think maybe we should give them a moment of privacy?
I'd say so. Well, we should,
Living room? That's where all of the best music is playing.
And the best drinks. Let's all dance.
Edward, what were you thinking? Telling our guests about the promotion? This is a party, not a work event.
Oh, Anne, please, don't act like this is some friendly get-together. For you, everything is about money. Otherwise, you wouldn't promote these stupid events all over the paper. You're just trying to get more publicity for your father's firm.
And what? Like money isn't the only thing to exist to you? All you care about is taking over the company. Well, when my father hears about what you've been telling our employees, who's most likely to get a pay rise, he sure will not be handing the company over to you.
Oh, of course, because he's going to hand it all over to you, is he?
Yes, he will. After all, I am the Bowman round here, not you. You wouldn't want me to tell anyone your little secret now, would you?
You wouldn't dare. My goodness, Anne, when did this marriage become so toxic?
This marriage has always been toxic, Edward. You used to love me, and I mean truly love me. And the moment you found out my family name, I just became strategic to you. And for what? To climb some sort of social ladder?
You know my background, Anne. What kind of lifestyle I come from.
Yes, you were poor.
Yes, poor. But we built this life together.
No, I gave you this life. Without me, you'd be nothing. And you think that somehow you're in charge around here? Whatever I say goes. And don't you dare try to embarrass both mine and my father's reputation like that again. Understood? I mean, for crying out loud, Edward, good candidates. They aren't applying for promotions. It's to be rewarded. And you call yourself a businessman?
Ah!
And a businessman would not throw a tantrum. Behave, Edward. Do not embarrass yourself. And mostly and importantly, me.
Can I get you two ladies another drink?
oh no, it's okay, I've got it.
No, please, I insist. If Anne were to find out that the guests were pouring their own drinks, then...
Don't worry, it can be our little secret. Delilah, and you are?
Sarah. I'm Sarah.
Go rest, Sarah. You've done a great job tonight.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Really, thank you.
Please, call me Delilah. Gosh, don't you feel bad for people like Sarah?
I really do. I mean, a maid? The poor girl has been treated more like a servant. But that's why nights like this are important. If we don't keep working our way up in the firm, we'll become some rude rich person's Sarahs too.
I guess.
Come on, I haven't seen you girls dance all night. Don't be shy.
Oh, we're not big on dancing.
We would love to. Let's go.
Ah, this is where the party's at. Sarah,
Yes, Anne.
can we get the disco lights across the whole property, please? This is meant to be a party, not a business meeting.
Yes, ma'am. I'll have that done for you right away.
How is everyone finding tonight so far?
Oh, just wonderful, Anne. What an amazing party. Look forward to continuing the game later.
Yes, and maybe this time I can actually get a fair go.
Not long, and we'll pick up where we left off. We're just waiting on Edward.
Where'd he go?
Delilah.
Oh, it's no problem, really. He's just attending some business. He'll be back shortly.
Fine by me. More time to party!
Exactly! What's the rush? The night hasn't even begun. Have fun! Actually, Jane, let's go talk.
Oh, me? Of course, yes. I would love to. Let's go. Sounds great.
What on earth do you think you are doing in here?
Oh my, Edward, I'm sorry.
Excuse me? That's sir to you.
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir. Miss Bowman told me to turn on the party lights around the house.
And it occurred to you that my study would be the perfect place to have party lights.
I'm sorry. It's just Miss Bowman told me to turn on the party lights across the entire property, and I just assumed.
Well, don't assume. Get out of my office.
Yes, sir. Of course. Apologies.
Ah!
Ah, Edward dear, care to join us?
Yes. Let's continue, shall we?
Well, of course we haven't even finished one round yet. Now, where did we leave off?
Well, I remember having my very fair go.
And then it was me. I took my turn, so Jane. Jane?
Where is she?
I don't know. She was with me in the living room last I remember.
Living room possibly then? Maybe she finally let loose.
No, she would have just followed us here if she were in the living room.
Well, Jane and I did go out on the courtyard for a private conversation.
Sarah!
Yes, sir?
Go and see if Jane is out in the courtyard, will you?
In the meantime, anyone care for a drink? My goodness! That sounded awful!
What on earth was that?
Seems serious.
It could have been Jane. I should go and check.
No, Delilah, stay here. Us men will go and take a look. Could be dangerous.
I can handle myself. Thanks.
Charles, Edward?
Let's go. I mean, what could possibly be the matter?
They've probably seen a spider.
Oh my goodness. I bet you take back that spider comment now.
I found her here, just laying here. Jane, Jane.
That sounded like a deep voice. Did one of the men just scream?
What is going on?
That didn't sound so great.
Oh, forget this. I'm going to go and look. I can defend myself, unlike you rich ladies.
Excuse me, Delilah! Oh, for goodness sake! Ah! Oh my goodness, more screaming! Seriously, can someone please tell me what is going on here?
Anne!
Jane? Oh, Jane! No! No, this can't be! We have to help her! Jane, come on! I know you can hear me!
Delilah, she's gone.
Get off of me! No, she's not! Someone call an ambulance! They can save her!
Delilah, is there anyone we can call?
Anyone you can call? The cops is who you can call! Which one of you sick people did this to her?
Oh my goodness, Delilah!
Shut up, Anne! You people are crazy! Let me out of here! I'm calling the police!
No one is to leave this room, understood?
Anne, let me out!
Delilah, not until you calm down!
Calm down? You want me to calm down? How can I calm down when one of you maniacs killed my sister? I swear to God, Anne, if you don't move past this door, then...
Sit down, everyone sit down! We are getting to the bottom of this right now!
Damn right we're getting to the bottom of this, and you sit down, Anne! I'm the one asking the questions here, because you crazy people have got a lot of talking to do! How could you do this to her? Which one of you was it?
Delilah?
You! It was you, wasn't it, Christopher? Gosh, the things rich people will do for money! As if you don't already have enough! You will do just about anything to get that promotion, even if it costs my sister's life!
Delilah, have you lost your mind? I'm ambitious, but I'm not a murderer.
Or could it be you? You were the last person with her, Anne. What did you speak about in the courtyard with her?
That was a private conversation.
Yeah, well now she's dead, Anne. Dead! So I don't care how private this conversation was. What did you say to her, Anne?
If I tell you, then I'll make myself sound like a hypocrite.
Oh, well, don't worry, Anne. It's not like it will be going in the paper. The only thing that will be in the paper is you murdering my sister in cold blood unless you explain yourself.
It was about the promotion.
You have got to be kidding me! All of this talk of how your father would be disappointed in me for discussing business matters before it's been confirmed. Well, look at you, Anne. You are right about one thing. You do sound like a hypocrite.
Oh, shut up, Edward! It's both mine and my father's company! We make the rules, not you!
Oh, so the rules can apply for one but not the other, eh? Very honourable company you're running here, isn't it?
And yet again, you prove my point. How on earth can you be talking about your silly little marriage problems when my sister is lying dead on the floor right behind you? You people make me sick. Charles, why so quiet? Feeling guilty, are we?
What? No! I'm not a killer, Delilah. Are you crazy? I just can't believe she is dead.
I should have been stricter on her. It doesn't matter that we're adults. She'll always be my little sister.
Delilah, what are you talking about?
You know how obsessed she was with you people. Idolized you even. Jane admired you all that much. She wanted to become something. And she thought the only way to do so was with your help. Except what did you do? You murdered her.
Someone is missing. Sarah?
Get down! Hands in the air where I can see them.
This is absurd! Not in my own home!
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be provided for you.
I love you, Jane.
How bad is it, Jackson?
It's not looking great, Sheriff. We've got one DOA and another possible victim.
Another possible victim?
Yeah. We arrived at the scene with our deceased female victim and another possible female victim covered in blood. Whether that blood is hers or not, yet to be confirmed.
Sounds more like a possible suspect to me.
Bring them down to the station. All of them.
Everyone who attended the Bowman's annual party is being treated as a suspect in this investigation.
Sir, do you really believe that these people are killers? Their faces are in the paper almost weekly. Would they really ruin their entire reputation?
Jackson!
All of them down to the station. That's in order.
Yes, sir. Patrol will bring them down.
Make it quick.
Before there's a media frenzy outside of that house.
Sheriff?
Yeah, he wants patrol to bring them all down to the station for questioning.
All right, I'll let them know.
This is ridiculous. I'll have you call my lawyer immediately. Now! Excuse me, sir. I'm speaking to you. Wait until my attorney hears about this!
Yep. Yeah. Okay. Follow me, please.
Who? Me?
All of you, let's go.
What? Why?
Why am I being treated like a person of interest here?
Because you are. All of you are.
I can't believe it. This is insane.
Let us out of here!
Are you crazy? We're talking about my sister here. My best friend. I didn't do anything to her, nor would I ever.
Do yourself a favor and save the sympathy stories for when you are being questioned. Just hold your breath.
Hey! Where do you think you're going?
Make sure we get the best lawyers in the city, Edward.
Yeah, you're gonna need them because one of you in this hellhole did this to her.
I always preferred your sister anyways.
What did you just say?
Have you ever stopped just to think for even just a second to not pinpoint the blame on us and maybe take a look at the woman who is covered in blood?
She didn't do this. She found her.
The poor will stick with the poor.
You were so above yourself, Anne.
Being above yourself gets you places, sweetheart. Something you may learn if you ever find yourself lucky enough to get out of here.
Ugh.
All right, gather around, everybody. This is being treated as a murder investigation. What happened here tonight wasn't on accident. Sheriff Jones has given us strict rules. We keep looking until we find something. This is a big property to search. So if it takes 10 cups of coffee to keep your eyes open, then that's what you'll do. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Now let's investigate. We want to have at least something to give to the detectives once they arrive at the scene. Let's not disappoint them.
This is your first big case?
You?
No, I was assigned to a double homicide that took place a few years back. Not far from here, actually.
The Waltons?
Yeah.
I remember watching that on the news like it was yesterday. Anyway, who are we waiting for?
The sheriff and 2 detectives, Special Agent Lundy and Ford, I think it was.
Wow, they're getting the FBI involved in this so soon?
They think it could be the next big case of the decade. Oh, look, here they come now.
Officer Jackson, Officer Lawson. I'd like you to meet Detectives Lundy and Ford, special agents even. They work for the FBI, here to help us investigate this homicide.
Detective Ford, pleasure to meet you both.
Also a pleasure to meet you both. Shame it has to be down to unfortunate circumstances, however.
Officer Jackson, myself and my partner here, Officer Lawson, were the arriving officers at the scene. Would you like us to show you inside?
That would be helpful.
Meet you back up at the station. Make sure to give Detective Ford and Lundy here a ride back to the station, please.
And this is where we found them. our DOA, and potential suspects.
I mean, this is just the strangest crime scene, don't you think? If it weren't for this room, you'd think that nothing terrible had occurred. And why were they all in here at the same time? Our victim was definitely unaware that she'd be attacked tonight.
Really? How can you tell, if you don't mind me asking?
If our victim knew she was going to be attacked, there would be more signs around the house. Signs of a chase happening amongst our suspect and victim almost.
She was caught by surprise, no time to fight, most likely facing away from her attacker.
And you can tell all of this just by first glance, without an autopsy?
The signs are there. The tip of the blade is facing backwards, rather than forwards. She had no idea he was coming.
He? Are we assuming the attacker is male?
Right now, I'd say it's too soon to tell, which is why we need to head back to the station for each suspect's questioning as quickly as possible. But first we must follow our coroner here, Ms Blackwell, to the morgue for a final autopsy.
Exactly. Too many people are involved in this. One of them ought to crack under pressure. Ms Blackwell, we're ready for you.
Wow, they're good.
Thank you for seeing us so soon on such short notice, Ms Blackwell. So what do we have here?
Well, the final autopsy report is showing that the victim died of a singular stab wound. See? Right here, impaling straight through the heart. It's truly a travesty. If this stab wound would have entered even as little as 2 centimeters further down on the torso, if attended to quickly enough, our victim had a chance to survive.
Horrible, just awful. And no other injuries?
Nope, absolutely nothing else. This attack happened quickly, and our victim would have been unaware of what was about to take place. The only other possible discovery to mention was a bruise to the left eye. Although, this happened after she was stabbed. Most probable cause? From falling to the ground, face down.
Thank you, Ms Blackwell. This has been very helpful to further our investigation. Any other useful information, call this number.
Thank you. I will get back to you if necessary. Best of luck with your investigation.
Delilah Astor, you're up first.
Thank God. Get me out of here.
Hands out, please.
Handcuffs? You're going to handcuff me?
It's just protocol, ma'am.
Yeah, protocol. Protocol for a murderer, which I am not!
Refusal to do so, ma'am, will come with its own consequences.
Fine, whatever. Let's just get this over and done with. Ridiculous. Stupid.
Thank you. Delilah, please, take a seat.
What's this all about,
I believe you are aware of what this is all about, Miss Astor?
No, I don't know what this is all about actually. You see, I should be treated as a witness to this crime, the murder of my own sister, yet I'm being treated like a criminal.
A witness? So you saw something?
No, but we're talking about the murder of my sister here. I did not do this.
Let me just give you the facts, Miss Astor. Less than 10% of homicides are committed by someone that the victim was not close to. So, unless you weren't very close to your sister, then yeah, we're looking at you as a potential suspect, as well as everyone else that was at that party tonight, might I add.
What Sheriff Jones is telling you here is that you better start talking, and fast. Oh, it's Detective Ford, by the way.
Detective Lundy.
I seriously don't know what to tell you. I know nothing.
Just start off by taking us through the night. Let's start from before you arrived at the party. Did you and your sister travel to the Bowmans together?
I got ready for the evening, put on this stupid costume, and drove to my sister's house to pick her up. From there, I drove us to the Bowmans' manor. She was so excited for the party. Me, on the other hand, I was dreading going. I didn't even want to go in the first place.
And why was that, Miss Astor? Are you not really the party type?
I enjoy a good night out, but this wasn't my idea of a good night out. The people we work with, I find them odd.
Odd? How?
It's hard to explain. They're just strange. I mean, when we arrived at the party, Anne made us all sit down in her living room while she told us the rules of the evening. I mean, what party has rules like calling each other by your character names?
I'm sorry. Character names?
Yes! My sister knew far more about it than I did. I mean, she was obsessed with the Bowmans. Not in a weird way, she just thought very highly of them. Aspired to be like them almost. Anyway, besides the point. My sister would mention these parties to me a lot, as they happened yearly, you know? And that they would always have these themes. This year's theme was Cluedo.
Cluedo? As in the board game?
Yes! It's weird, right? My sister just thought I was overreacting. I was certain something was off with these people. Anyway, the night continues. Everyone follows the rules that Anne had made very clear to us. We partied, had a couple of drinks, and that's when things got even stranger. If that's even possible. We were interrupted by Anne for the board game to begin. We started to play until we were stopped by a huge fight that Anne and Edward had gotten into.
What was this argument about, and how did it start?
That's the problem. I'm not quite sure. It seemed like there was already some sort of tension between them both. What that was about, I'm not aware of. But there was a promotion that would most likely be awarded to either my sister or Christopher. Edward started to talk about this business at the table, and Anne, well, she didn't like that. They got into a disagreement about what should and shouldn't be discussed at the party, and then they took their argument privately into the kitchen.
And after your board game session was interrupted, what happened then?
Well, we all took ourselves into the living room and danced. Edward went to cool down in his office from what Anne had mentioned, and she came into the living room to join us. A little while later, she took Jane for a talk out in the courtyard. We all eventually met back in the dining room to continue our game. Well, all except for...
Except Jane?
Yeah.
And when you went to proceed with your game, that's when you noticed Jane was missing?
Yes. When we went to, continue playing, she didn't show up in the dining room. The Bowman's maid, Sara, she went to look for her. And then we all heard a scream, so Edward, Charles, and Christopher went to look for themselves, and not long after that we heard...
It's okay, take your time.
I think it was Charles that screamed next. At that point, I knew something was terribly wrong. I just had this gut feeling. I ran to check, and Anne followed, and that's when we found everyone standing around Jane, in the kitchen. I'm sorry, I just can't believe she's gone. Why would they do this to her? I mean, oh, Jane, she really is gone forever.
Let's take 5. Well, do you believe her?
I do. I see no signs that lead me to think otherwise, at least. And besides, killing her own sister sounds like a bit of a stretch if you ask me.
I'm not so sure. I mean, this whole promotion, it could lead to jealousy. Now that's a motive.
I mean, there's being jealous, but to go to the extreme of murder, I mean, really? You believe that?
I'm just saying, don't be too quick to judge.
How about we just take this one step at a time? Move forward with the interrogation of our other potential suspects. Then from there, we can talk about theories.
Good idea, Sheriff. Get the next one ready. We'll see Christopher Maine next.
I'll get a patrol officer to bring him to you for questioning.
What was it, Christopher? Were you jealous of Anne? Worried that she might have gotten that promotion? Or maybe just pure greed? I mean, you can never have enough money. Isn't that right, Christopher?
I swear to God, I would never do anything to hurt Jane. Forget this stupid promotion. She was more than a work colleague. She was my friend.
So close that you killed her?
Killed her? Have you lost your mind? Anything to take down a successful name these days. I demand you to call my lawyer.
Your lawyer isn't going to get you out of any trouble here. At least not until we're finished questioning you, that's for sure.
That's enough questions. I mean, for crying out loud, I screamed when I saw Jane laying on the floor like that. It was horrific.
Or maybe it was all one huge act. You knew what you would find when you stepped foot into that kitchen, didn't you, Charles?
I really didn't know what to expect when I walked into the kitchen. I've never seen anything like it.
The blood you're covered in says otherwise.
That was after I found her. Really, I promise.
I
Did not kill Jane
Astor.
Ridiculous.
Let's take 5.
Useless.
Did you see those new corn dogs they're selling down the street? They look delicious.
I'm not buying it.
What? The corn dogs? You haven't even tried them yet.
No, you idiot. I'm not buying it, as in the case. These theories they have about each guest that attended the party. It just seems too simple. I think whatever happened at that house was far more complicated than the version of events that these detectives are assuming.
I'm telling you, Lawson, it's the sister. Always the family.
You really think she murdered her own sister?
There's no other possible explanation. What else are these detectives thinking?
Look, the task force is together now. Let's go listen to what other cliche ideas they have on this whole thing.
We've been over it plenty of times. The sister theory. Delilah Aston killed her sister because she was jealous of her. Jealous of the way she just fit in with those higher class people. Delilah didn't like that. Hated it. Even possibly felt envious of her. So, what does she do? She takes away Jane's chance of being above her ever again.
Allegedly, Ford, allegedly. I personally feel the better and the most logical theory is the promotion angle. Christopher knew how quickly Jane was ranking up within the firm and he didn't like the competition. It intimidated him. He wanted to gain full control of what he felt deserved to be his, the promotion, and the only way to do so was by killing her.
Any other possible theories?
Well, there's Anne Bowman. Now, Anne. There are many factors that do not make her look so innocent in this situation. The private conversation in which she pulled Jane out into the courtyard, alone. Also the fact that she's the last known person to have seen Jane alive. However, any possible motive is unclear.
Or maybe there was no motive? I mean, these things do happen accidentally sometimes.
Yeah, I agree. You got a point there. I mean, didn't you say there was only one fatal stab wound? That does correlate with an accidental homicide.
May I, interject?
Officer Lawson, please.
Is there a possibility that something more complicated than these theories occurred at the Bowman Manor?
What do you mean by that?
Well, I haven't really thought that far ahead yet, but, I don't know. Something darker, maybe? More sinister? Something that isn't so in your face?
Officer Lawson, this is not some kind of soap opera. We are talking about a serious murder investigation here. There is no need to overcomplicate this case, okay?
Yes, Detective. You're right. Sorry for wasting your time.
It's Detective Lundy.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm gonna, yeah. Lawson, where are you going?
Ugh, for a smoke. Stupid detective trying to call herself a special agent.
Come on, partner. Don't run off like that.
I'm not annoyed with you. It's these detectives calling themselves special agents. Treat us like nothing more than a bunch of rookie cops. They know nothing more than we do, yet they act like they're the most important people in the room and that their theories are correct. They're forgetting it's a freaking theory, not a fact.
I mean, they are pretty important.
No, it's their title that's important. Please, FBI might.
Okay, how about one of them corn dogs, eh?
Fine, I'll eat the stupid corn dog. And then we're going to the Bowman Manor.
Alright, that sounds... Wait, Lawson? Lawson, what are you talking about? Stop running! Lawson, if the sheriff finds out about this, then they'll remove us from the task force.
Please, task force? We might as well not even be in the task force. They just assigned us this case to do their paperwork. They don't care what we have to say. You saw that for yourself. That detective completely shut me down, and I'm gonna make it like it's my life's mission to prove her wrong.
Lawson, we can't go in there, and you know that.
Ask me again if I care.
It's a crime scene, Lawson. Come on.
I am telling you, they missed something. I'm positive. Or maybe the Bowmans paid the police off. I mean, they've got the money.
You and these theories. Hey! Look, maybe those detectives are right. They have far more experience with cases like this than we do.
No, I'm sorry, Jackson, but I am just not convinced. There is something missing here. I have a gut feeling.
Oh, for God's sakes, Lawson. Just climb over the tape.
It was you that needed the convincing. Even just standing here again makes me feel sick.
Are you sure you want to go in? We can just turn back around.
It's not about wanting to, Jackson. It's our duty. For Jane. And now just a stain left on the floor, yet she's gone. People in this world are sick.
What are we looking for exactly?
Anything. Anything the police could have possibly missed.
Surely they would have collected everything and taken it into evidence by now.
No, not if they missed something. You have got to be kidding me.
What? Find something?
We've just hit the jackpot. Look, a brooch.
Oh my God.
If we find out who this brooch belongs to, then we know who was in this room with Jane.
And then who possibly killed her?
Not possibly. More like, who did kill her.
Well, how the hell are we gonna find out who it belongs to?
We search this house top to bottom, no matter how long it takes. We're looking for possible receipts, photos maybe, anything that can tie this brooch to one of the guests.
And if we don't find anything?
We're not leaving until we do. Now, come on. We've got a murder mystery case to solve. I'll cover the bottom floor, you cover the top. Got it?
Got it. Nothing in the bathroom.
Garage is clean, except for bleach.
I got a receipt.
And?
For a watch.
Living room is clear.
So is the bedroom.
And the guest bedroom?
Nothing. Nada.
Courtyard is nothing but cold.
The attic is nothing but hot.
What are we missing here?
There's gotta be something.
Jackson, come here. Downstairs, the study.
Lawson, tell me you got something.
Oh my gosh. Jackson, we've got it.
Show me. No way.
Hiding in plain sight.
Really? Edward Bowman? The husband?
It has to be. The brooch ties him to the kitchen, where Jane was last seen before she...
But why? Why would he kill Jane? It doesn't make any sense.
Nothing makes any sense. This whole case, it's bizarre.
It couldn't have been about business. I mean, Jane worked for the Bowman's firm. He was in charge. It wasn't like Jane would have been any sort of threat to him.
I agree with you there. If it wasn't about business, then that makes it personal. Maybe a possible affair?
I don't see it. Although rumor has it that Jane's sister, Delilah, said that she was obsessed with the Bowmans during her interview with the sheriff and the detectives.
Well, maybe that's it then. An affair. Edward was having an affair with Jane and didn't want to get caught. So he feels the only way to keep his cheating scandal away from the press is to, what, kill her?
I mean, it sounds extreme, but I see no other possible explanation. They're a rather big company. Any big story like cheating on his wife would surely ruin the reputation of his and his wife's banking firm.
This is all circumstantial. We can't give it to the detectives just yet. We need proof. Undeniable evidence.
And where are we gonna find that?
Where would someone keep all their biggest, most deepest, darkest secrets? Somewhere private.
I mean, a personal study is pretty private. If we're gonna find anything to prove this, then it's gonna be in here somewhere.
I know! A diary! I'd assume a wealthy, stressed businessman with many responsibilities would journal, wouldn't you? He has to vent somehow.
Then we don't leave until we find this diary of his. This could be the big break in this case.
Jeez, Jackson, this is insane. We are insane.
I believe you started this, actually, but you're not insane. You're smart. It's you who will solve this whole mystery.
Come on, less talking, more looking.
Yes, ma'am. Ha, you found the study. I had to find something.
Don't tell me you've got it.
Diary belonging to the man himself, Edward Bowman.
Ah, no, I wanted to find it. Well, anyway, what are you waiting for? Let's read it.
Slight problem. It's, locked.
You're serious?
Who locks their diary?
A man with a lot of secrets to hide, that's who.
So now we practically have to start all over again by looking for a key?
Yeah, I guess.
Jeez, Lawson, what? Did you see a ghost now too?
The key is in evidence.
What? How do you know?
I remember. Once the crime scene investigators showed up, I overheard a conversation between one of them and Sheriff Jones.
Sheriff Jones, you want this bagged up and put into evidence?
What is it?
A key. The basement was locked, so me and some of my guys went to try and unlock it with this key we discovered in Mr. Bowman's study. But it wasn't a match to the lock. We have searched from top to bottom in this place and nothing! I don't want to concern you, but I think something very sinister happened tonight.
Yeah. Bag it up, put it into evidence, until we find out what it's for exactly.
Yes, sir. Just be careful. I think we're heavily underestimating whatever it is we're dealing with here.
To my knowledge, they never found any other locks in the house that matched the key. It's gotta be back at the station by now, along with any other evidence they collected.
It must match the lock on his diary. They even found the key in his study. I cannot believe all of this.
Neither can I. Let's drive back to the station, and fast, before they realize that we were ever gone.
Will we even be granted access for the evidence room?
We won't know until we try. Just let me do the talking. Tony, how are you? How's the family? Is Maggie doing well?
Maggie is fine. The kids are fine.
That's just great, Tony.
Look, can I get you something?
Yes, actually. Those fancy FBI detectives upstairs are, well, reopening one of our cold cases. They asked me and Officer Jackson here to collect the evidence box for them.
I thought they were working on the Bowman Manor investigation.
Oh, yes, they are. But, they're looking to take a case with them once they leave. You know, to help the city's solved crime rates.
Right. Okay, go through.
Thanks, Tony. You have a nice night now.
Really, Lawson? How's the family? And you have a nice night?
Well, it worked, did it not?
These evidence boxes are so unorganized. We could be searching down here for hours.
Well, we're gonna have to move a little faster. We haven't got hours.
Wait, hold on. I might be onto something. This shelf over here is still in alphabetical order, so it must be filled with the most recent cases.
Let me see. Bates, Betty, Benitez. Oh, I got it. Bowman.
Anything yet?
Not yet. Just a whole lot of clothing items and pictures. If we find this key, then we can open the diary and hopefully find something in it that proves our affair story. Then I'd say that's enough to give to the detectives to prove some sort of motive.
It has to be in here. It must have fell to the bottom or something. Lawson, this is it. It has to be.
Wait, gloves.
You want to do the honors?
Really? Are you sure?
This wouldn't have been possible if it weren't for you. Here, unlock it.
Wow, we're actually in. I feel like I'm inside the mind of a killer right now.
Well, anything? Come on, Lawson, I'm dying to know something here.
Wait, Jackson, just shut up a second.
Is something wrong? Is our affair theory wrong too?
Oh my freaking god.
Lawson, come on, you're worrying me now. What is it?
Oh my god!
Lawson, seriously, what?
It should have been Anne.
You're not making any sense right now, Lawson. What do you mean, it should have been Anne?
Jackson? He didn't plan on killing Jane. Edward planned to murder his own wife, Anne Bowman.
What on earth do you think you are doing in here?
Oh my, Edward, I'm sorry.
Excuse me? That's sir to you.
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir. Miss Bowman told me to turn on the party lights around the house.
And it occurred to you that my study would be the perfect place to have party lights.
I'm sorry. It's just Ms. Bowman told me to turn on the party lot lights across the entire property, and I just assumed.
Well, don't assume. Get out of my office.
Yes, sir, of course. Apologies.
Ah! I fear I can no longer deal with my wife, Anne. The way she treats me, speaks down to me. This shouldn't have been the way things turned out. I should have been in charge. I am the man of this house. She no longer sees me as her husband, just an employee at her father's firm. Although, I've never really seen Anne as my wife either. I've never truly loved Anne. Marrying Anne was just meant to secure my opportunity of someday taking over her father's firm. Her father, Richard, is starting to become extremely ill. Who knows if he'll make it through? But over the past couple of years, I've lost hope, ambition, power. With Anne around, I will never have the chance to take over this company. I will never get the opportunity to make a name for myself on my own merit. This isn't love anymore between me and Anne. It's hatred. I'm not quite sure if there was ever any love in the first place. The only way to move forward is to get rid of Anne. Make her gone for good. With Anne out of the way and us still tied together legally by marriage, her father will have no choice but to hand over the firm to me. I haven't got long left. Richard is so unwell that he might not make it through another week. With his heart condition becoming worse, that shortens my time to act on this. And I must act. Fast. That's what's best for me. For everyone. It's my turn now. I've waited long enough.
You do know that you are a good person, Jane, and most importantly a hard worker. I see your dedication to the firm, and I think everyone else can see too.
And wow, thank you so much. You will never know how much this means to me. I admire your success so much, and I just hope to be as successful as you one day.
Why, thank you, Jane. I'm flattered, and I'm sure that you will be, but remember, just be yourself. Don't try to imitate someone else's success, because people want to see you, and that's what creates success.
I will take your advice. Thank you, Anne.
I guess we better head off inside, shall we? I think everyone's been waiting to continue the fun for long enough.
Oh, where did she go? Come on, Edward, get it together. Jane!
Wow, are we sure? Maybe we should go over everything again.
Jackson, we just solved probably the biggest murder case that there's been in New York City for years. Look, we have everything to prove it. We have Edward's diary saying that he felt he needed to kill his wife Anne in order to take over her father's company. He knew that Anne's father, Richard, was in ill health and he didn't want to leave it too late before he put Anne in charge of the firm rather than him. In this photo, we can see both Jane and Anne wearing the same outfit this night, just in different colors. Must have been a coincidence. And look, they must have taken this photograph later into the night. See Jane in the back there? Her dress looks purple. This is because of the blue party lights that were on in the kitchen. So Edward clearly spotted Jane in the kitchen alone later that night when these blue party lights were still turned on. It gave the illusion that her dress was purple, clearly. I mean, blue and red make purple, right? So, no hesitation, assuming it's Anne, he approaches her from behind. He takes a knife, possibly one he found in the kitchen at the moment. When he stabs Jane, who he believes to be Anne, maybe something felt off. Maybe she screamed or made a noise that didn't sound like his wife. This alarms him, so he turns on the regular light in the kitchen just to be sure, which then revealed to him that it was actually Jane he had just stabbed and not Anne. That would then also explain the singular stab wound. If he was certain that this was his wife, as gruesome and horrific as it sounds, he probably would have inflicted more injuries onto her. This should have been a crime of passion, but Edward made one huge mistake. That would change everything.
We sound like we've lost our minds.
Oh, I agree. We sound crazy, but you can't deny the evidence that's in front of you. Neither will these detectives be able to. I think we're ready to hand this over.
I can't believe you solved this whole thing. You really were right. This was so much more complex than a usual murder investigation.
No, Jackson. We solved this together. I couldn't have done this without you. I'm just glad I had you to believe in me through all this.
I never doubted you, not even for a second. Now, come on, let's nail this guy.
Edward Bowman doesn't know what's coming for him. And that's everything, Detective Lundy.
We believe we have enough evidence here to tell you that Mr. Bowman is your guy.
Wow. I'm in disbelief. Detective Ford?
We've got him.
Officer Lawson, Officer Jackson. This is impressive, and I mean very. In my 25 years of working for the Bureau, I have never seen any work like it. What do you think about working for us someday,
Maybe one day we will take you up on that offer.
Officer Barnes and Officer Mandy, cuff him.
Wait! May I, do it?
You want to handcuff Mr. Bowman?
It would be nice for, some closure of this whole thing.
Lawson, Jackson, he's practically waiting for you, and so what?
Thank you, sir.
Please, after today's police work, call me Scott. Now, what are you two rookies waiting for? Go get your guy.
I'll hold her back. Go on. You go.
Mr. Bowman, please turn around. Hands where I can see them.
What is this?
What's going on? What's happening?
Edward Bowman, you are under arrest for the murder of Jane Astor. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law.
You? It was you? You are going to pay for this! You will spend the rest of your life behind bars, I'll make sure of it!
Good evening, New York City. It's Brittany Roberts, back again reporting live here on Blox News. Just 2 years ago today, we saw the crash and murder scandal of one of the biggest investment banking firms that there was in New York City, Bowman Banking. This company collapsed shortly after Edward Bowman, the husband of Anne Bowman, who attempted to murder her in hopes to take over the company. Except, this wasn't an attempted murder. A heartless killing did occur, but our victim was known to be Jane Astor. Today, after waiting 2 long years, the jury deliberates. Will Edward Bowman be found guilty or not guilty of murder? Arnold, over to you.
Thank you, Brittany. It's Arnold, folks, reporting live here from the Supreme Court where members of the public wait outside for a verdict. Many people gather outside here today in support of Delilah Astor, the sister of our victim. Felix?
Felix here, also with Blox News. I was lucky enough to get an inside look into the courtroom here today to hear about Delilah Astor's statement. Take a look for yourselves here.
Edward Bowman. Edward. Sometimes even Ed. These were names that I used to hear that would make me think of a friend. Yet now all that comes to mind is the murderer of my sister. You took away the one thing in my life that I could always count on for as long as I can remember. Jane Astor. You remember that name. An individual with a heart of gold, beautiful both inside and out. My sister. And for that, for taking away what was everything to me, you deserve everything to be taken away from you. For good. A life behind bars. Never to be freed again.
I mean, as you can see here, Arnold, it is a very emotional speech given by the sister of our victim here today.
And now the Astor family waits desperately to hear a final verdict.
And from the crowd cheering, Arnold, it looks like the jury has come to a final decision. This decision at the Supreme Court here today will determine Mr. Bowman's future. Let's take a look.
Everyone rise. Jury, we are ready for you.
We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of murder in the first degree,
with a life imprisonment sentence and no chance of parole.
And can you believe it? We have a verdict. Edward Bowman is found guilty of murder. The crowd outside the Supreme Court today are cheering after this deliberation, and other media sources press for answers. Let us show you.
Miss Astor, how does it feel to finally have some justice served for your sister Jane today?
Wow, it's an indescribable feeling. I'm overwhelmed with joy, hope, and peace. My sister Jane would be so proud of the work done here today at the Supreme Court.
No further questions for Miss Astor, please. Thank you.
Mr. Bowman, or even your attorney, please, may you speak on behalf of Mr. Bowman about your opinions on today's verdict? Do you feel that these charges were fair?
Neither myself or my client, Mr. Bowman, have any comments. Thank you.
Mr. Bowman, do you plan on trying to appeal your case? Mr. Bowman? Mr. Bowman!
Well, as you can see, folks, emotions are running high in New York City today. As a community, we all cheer that justice was finally served for the beloved Jane Astor. I'm your host, Brittany Roberts, and I will be back here tomorrow as usual at 6 p.m. on Blox News with more stories for you. Good night.
Are you sure you don't want to come?
No. It's best for me to stay here, with the kids. It may have been nearly 2 years ago now, but they still struggle if they're left alone.
No need to explain, Arthur, really. Tell the kids that Aunt Delilah will be back soon. You know, being a single parent is so hard, yet you've made it look so easy these last 2 years. I'm really proud of you. You're a great dad.
Thank you, Delilah. That means more than you'll ever know. See you later.
Yeah, later.
Bye, Auntie Delilah. Say hi to Mummy for me.
Yes. Don't you worry. Auntie Delilah will.
Come on now, let's go inside. Aunt Delilah is very busy, okay?
I made a promise to you, sis. I told you I'd keep it. And we did it. You can rest now. I love you, Jane.
I come bringing gifts, or should I say corn dogs?
I'll take you up on that. Thanks. Anyway, what's the occasion?
Well, it's my last day in uniform. You're looking at the face of your new lieutenant.
No way! That's crazy! We're all so proud of you, Jackson. Lawson, too. Where is she anyway?
She's not here. This station, this city, wasn't big enough for her dreams. Washington, D.C., now that's more her style.
She's working for the FBI?
It was made for her.
Wow, even back when we were all on patrol, everyone knew she was destined for big things. A lot of us even thought she was destined for you, Jackson.
Yeah, I guess the time just wasn't right. Maybe someday, though, if I'm lucky.
She'll come back to you.
Officer Jackson. Or should I say, Lieutenant. Come on. My office. We've got some exciting things to discuss.
Yes, sir.
Everyone, my office now, please.
What's that all about?
I don't know. Sounds like we shouldn't hesitate, though.
Let's go.
Thank you, everyone, for joining me here today. Please, take a seat. Now, over the last 2 years, a lot has happened. A lot has changed. And although I struggle to say this, I feel as though the company is failing in my hands.
What do you think she's saying?
I don't know.
What I'm trying to say here is I'm resigning from Bowman Banking. And there is someone in this room I plan on handing the company over to.
What?
Anne, you can't!
This is a big decision, Anne.
Everyone settle down, please, settle down. My decision is final. Christopher Maine, I feel as though you have earned it.
Oh my goodness, Anne. I don't know what to say. This is a big decision for me too. After everything, it feels wrong almost. Delilah?
You don't need to ask me, Christopher. If Jane were here, she would be so proud of you. Don't miss out on this. Take it.
Thank you, Delilah. Really, thank you.
Well, there you go. It's settled. Christopher Maine, I present to you as our new CEO of Pone and Panking. Take care of this place, Chris. I know you will.
Drinks tonight are on me. Let's celebrate.
Bowman, get out of your cell. You have a visitor.
A visitor?
You heard me. Let's get moving. Sit tight. She'll be here soon.
She?
Well, well, well. If it isn't Edward Bowman.
You!